Everybody, welcome back to Philosophy Basic Part 2 with me, Vanessa. So, thanks for subscribing on my channel and being part of this channel. Merci pour être là. Et I'm going to do this second part now. So, applying philosophical ideas to everyday life. The practical implementation of philosophical concepts in daily life facilitates comprehension of the surrounding environment, enables self-awareness, and provides a framework for decision-making, conduct, and behavior. See, if one is not on a philosophical level of being able to comprehend its environment and able to be self-aware of their behavior, their conduct, a perception in the world, in reality, in a clear, concise framework that is reality, real world, the decision making and behavior will be affected. So the utilization of philosophical concepts enable the assessment of personal value, belief, comprehension of underlying motivation and objective, and the completion of ethical predicament. So this is basically saying how you're going to predict the outcome of somebody's underlying motivation is usually aligned with the perception, the comprehension, everybody's world. If somebody's in a line, not self-aware, all of these things, the underlying motivation probably is not placed in the right place for cohabitation in this human world as a normal code of conduct or a normal logical code of conduct. Through an examination of physical principles, one can attain a lucid understanding of value, which takes lots of understanding. Forget that. So let's talk about utilitarianism, which is hard to say, which until I got back to this class, did not remember this at all. I remember expressionist, stoicism, existentialism, Hinduism, but not this one. So what is that in philosophy? Is the best strategy, is the one that benefits most people, is the greatest good for the greatest number. So ulti-arian, so you have the half of humanitarian, ultimatum, or ulti-many, like union, of maximizing overall welfare, many guide policy that benefits a substantial percentage of a community in difficulty decision, consider which outcome will benefit the most people. So now let's go to Stoicism. The philosophical concept of Stoicism can be practically implemented in daily life. So the aforementioned notion posits that directing our attention towards our internal cognition and emotion and endeavoring to attain a state of inner serenity, which lots of years of practice. Buddhism usually are prone to philosophy a lot because they usually attend this among monks and preachers or people in a spiritual world and churches and things. Different religions that are like in India that are concentrating on philosophical spiritualism. Prioritizing our goal and adhering to our commitment can be facilitated by this approach. The inner serenity is most valuable than pursuing activity that yield momentary gratification. It's in one word, the same thing as instant gratification versus deeper, long-lasting serenity. Equal could be called joy, could be called peace, serenity, same word. Or people are gonna go the easy way, not do all this emotional work, spiritual work, physical work, and just get those constant, fast gratification, which always shorten, so you always need more and more and more and more, and they never last. So it's like a wolf or dog or an animal is constant looking out for their need to be feeling this moment of peace or serenity. But when the supplies run out, they have to be on the lookout constantly, versus finding this place long lasting doesn't need to be looking for anything. It's inside them, it's there, it doesn't need to be seeking. Where one is faced with a challenging task, it is possible to maintain motivation by focusing on the larger objective. It's just gonna say like a larger goal, long lasting goal. It's like finishing a competition, go way to the end, get the reward because you did it yourself, you achieved it yourself, versus you took shortcuts, you stole somebody's pass or somebody's place and you arrived, but you did arrive on your own, you cheated, and that's why therefore you're going back on your seat and pursuing a state of tranquility in the moment present. Alright, now let's go to existentialism. Philosophical concepts have the potential to facilitate a comprehension of the essence of humanity. The philosophical notion of existentialism posits that individual possess an inherent inclination to imbue their existence with significance through the establishment of personal principles. That's why when we say that there's people who are insignificant in this world, it's because those people do not incline their existence towards valuing human beings, nature, climate, the world around us, and treating it the same way as everybody will wish everybody's treating one another, towards making a significant impact in their life, their existence, towards other, the human in general, towards doing good, but they are living in the world of mediocrity, which involve ego, selfishness, retracting into only one's little shares of oneself, and only feeding up instant gratification or need, and so therefore their existence become invaluable and significant towards the world, the planet. So it's almost like dusting wind in a drain, Anyway, the practice can facilitate the cultivation of self-awareness and consciousness as one choice and behavior holds significance way over the ultimate destiny. How many branches does philosophy have? I think the answer is 5. If I'm not mistaken, yes. It has 5 branches. Now, definition of epistolology, since we did it, is the study of truth and knowledge. Epistemology. Ology is the study of, episteme is truth and knowledge. And aesthetic, same as aesthetic, beauty. So that's how you remember the study of beauty and appreciation. Let's go to the next. Now, let's see if you remember something. Which one was the philosopher of his debate and form therapy shaped by Western philosophy? Remember, Western, Plato. And indeed shaped and formed the theory. So which means consisted of the very first time theory were established in philosophy. Alright. So I'm gonna go with this paragraph, and I'm probably gonna have to do another part so it doesn't get too long, too boring. So what is ethic and moral philosophy? They are interrelated. Oops, sorry about this. This thing always pop up. Yet separate areas of academic inquiry. So they are interconnected, but at the same time separated. The field of ethics pertains to the examination of the fundamental principles that govern appropriate and inappropriate conduct. Moral philosophy investigates morality, origin, and threat The research investigates moral thinking and its effect. Study the moral principles that regulate human behavior and the decision-making process involved in making particular choice. So, if let's say one's brain is chemically imbalanced and with substance, or because it's just it's just imbalanced over the years with a lot of miswire, or maybe trauma to the head, or maybe just disconnection. The sky is like a car. If the screws aren't connected the right way, it's not going to function. It's not going to start properly. Maybe if you trick the system to make it run, and make it temporarily run, making some kind of sound that it might give you illusion of running, but it's not, or it's going to blow up. So it's kind of like the same concept. So that it has to be functioning in order to work, to function. So without that, this the decision is going to be poor, defective, self-destructive. So the utilization of ethics as a mechanism for assessing and directing ethical conduct is a widely accepted practice, where moral philosophy serves as a basis for comprehending ethical tenets. Both factors are crucial in comprehending ethics and formulating ethical judgment. The significance of ethics and moral philosophy is evident of diverse conduct. Moral philosophy evaluates medical choice, whether ethical standard guide, patient care, research, business decision like pricing, advertising, be examined. So let's go to the next. Alright, so ethical framework for contemplation. So that's it. I'm going to go through this and that's it. I wish everybody a great Saturday. It is here in Mexico City. It is 3:01 p.m. So deontology is frequently employed in the ethical framework. The approach is founded on the notion that specific action possess inherent moral value and independent of their outcome. Deontology. Again, study of deont. Pray, and so specific action inherent the moral value, independent, maybe on, independent. The act of committing murder is deemed morally and ethically incorrect, regardless of the potential outcome of saving life. So that's a good example. It's basically saying, regardless, you're doing an action to save another life, regardless, everybody knows it is wrong. But for a framework where there has been this symbol, not this framework, then the awareness is not there. So the methodology is frequently employed by religious entities and personas who subscribe for specific ethical principles. These represent a variety of ethical framework. Okay, now we're going back to utilitarianism. Is an additional perspective in the realm of reasoning. So it prioritizes the maximization of benefits for the largest possible group. So remember, utilitarianism, many people, benefits, consumption for all. Particular call for action and prospective advantage that can be derived from undertaking said action. A possible scenario involves a corporate entity opting to increase the remuneration of its workforce as a means of enhancing job satisfaction and bolstering output. Consequentialism, so consequent, like consequence, like next, and maybe consequence, but I don't think that's it. Represent additional perspectives, so it's consequent, so it will be after an extra perspective within the realm of a reasoning. So see this as an extra after utilitarianism. The approach centers on the outcome resulting from a particular action. opposed to that moral value of an action is contingent upon the consequence that ensure from said action. So the moral action is it depends on the consequence of the action. So let's say an organization may opt to contribute funds to a philanthropic cause which they aim of fostering a favorable reputation. So they basically, it's kind of love with condition, it's basically giving with condition in order to get that particular action or consequence. And now we're talking ethical relativism approach. The thinking is a perspective that warrants consideration. The underlying premise of the methodology is rooted in the notion that ethical dilemmas do not have a singular definitive solution. The concept posits that ethical principles are contingent upon cultural, religious, and personal conviction and standard. So you see the word ethical, so we're talking about ethical conduct, and so we're talking about everyone here. So it could be upon cultural or religious or someone's conviction or personal conduct, and that's how the action and the thinking and the perception is portrayed in this situation. These represent a variety of ethical framework of methodology for ethical analysis. And each methodology possesses unique strengths and can provide advantages in varying circumstances. Comprehending the various methodology and their practical implementation is crucial for having an optimal ethical judgment. Alright, that is going to do it for now. It's so interesting, and this is not even one module. This is just three paragraph of one single module, but it's very interesting, and I love to share this. I have finished a course myself. I have took many other courses in the past. I went to school for it when I was very young in a theater school, and I've always been into philosophy. I've never thought one day I'll teach, which I'm not teaching now. I'm just presenting the information, but it's something that I always thought very interesting, and I just didn't think it was ever possible to even present the information myself because of the knowledge you need, how much you need to know, and the qualification you need to have in order to even be able to teach in a normal classroom setup. So it's a pleasure for me to be able to do this today. And I wish I could do it in French. Maybe one day I will do it in French as well. But anyway, for now, I hope you enjoy this, and I will come back with some more.